My name is Caitlin Schmidt, and this is my assignment 5, changes on my unit of study. For my unit of study, I completed it over our decimal addition and subtraction unit in math. The first question was, how do the tasks yield appropriate evidence of the identified understandings? The tasks that the students had to complete included multiple problems on the board in which I would take volunteers to go up and solve in front of the class on the whiteboard. While students were doing this, the rest of the class was expected to complete the problem in their book. During this time, I was walking around and checking students while they were working, and also while the student volunteer was solving on the board. Another task that yield appropriate evidence of the identified understandings of the expectations were that students were completing it on whiteboards and then sharing their answers aloud. In order to continue throughout the lesson, I strive to have at least 80% of the students showing that they understood it. The students who were continuously getting it wrong, I then had them work with partners, grouping a high with a low student to almost do a reteach. The students enjoy teaching others when they understand it and feel confident in it, and then it gives the student who is struggling another chance to hear it, maybe in different terminology, and it's somebody else other than me teaching them. And I found that students often enjoy hearing from their peers and learning from their peers too. Question 2, how do the tasks involve a complex, real-world, or authentic application of the identified knowledge, skill, and understanding? At the completion of this unit for our decimal addition and subtraction, we utilized a decimal diner activity in which students were given a menu and they were able to order items off of the menu that they would enjoy having for a meal. In some cases, they were given a set price limit that they had to stay under, and then in other scenarios, they were given just free will. They had no budget. They got to add whatever they wanted. On the next day, there were scenarios in which they had to calculate pre-taken orders, so they had to go back into the menu, add up the prices, which were their decimals, and find totals, and then find change that would be given back to the customer. In the future, I definitely plan on using this real-world application problem again. I think it would be beneficial to have the students find their own prices, though, and create their own menus. I felt like many students were uninterested in some of the prices or uninterested in some of the meals as they were not familiar with the food that was being presented in the menu. So that would be a change that I would make in the future. I also would allow more time for this. We only had 2 days, and unfortunately we did not get through the entire decimal diner activity, and a lot of it could have been more beneficial if we had more time to spend on it. The third question, how are a variety of appropriate assessment formats used to provide additional evidence of learning? In this unit, I did a lot of partner share. I did a lot of whole class instruction. I had students go to the board to complete, and then I also use a levels of understanding in which students show me with their fingers just right in front of their chest. I'll either 0 fingers, 1, 2, 3, or 4, up to 5 for their level of understanding. So not only was I checking their formative assessments, but it was also informal with them assessing themselves. And the final question, how are students given the opportunity to self-assess and reflect upon their learning and performance? Again, like I said, the levels of understanding in which they identify their levels using 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 fingers. And then I also feel their homework is a way that they can self-assess. If they scored anything less than an 80%, most of the time the students were aware that they scored below, and that was another way to reflect upon their learning.